First, I'm going to start with the chicken because I am slicing it a bit thinner. So these are breasts. And the only thing I'm doing is I'm just slicing right through as if I'm going to butterfly it, but I'm going to go all the way through and just make 2 pieces of chicken. I did take time to wash my cutting board and my knife and disinfect the table because you're dealing with meat, so you don't want no cross-contamination, because I'm going to be slicing my orange, my lime, and my lemon afterwards, and if I use just only half and want to save it, I don't have to worry about that. So anyways, let's get this done. I'm going to go ahead and use some orange zest. Add the juice of an orange. Some lemon zest. I'm going to be using half of the lemon. Zest of a lime, as much as you could get off. Use the whole entire lime as far as the juice. 1 large clove of garlic. I went ahead and shredded it. I just use my zester to shred my garlic. You could press it if you like. You could use any pre-mixed taco seasoning, fajita seasoning, whatever you choose, or you can make your own. And this is what's in here. This is some chili pepper, smoked paprika. I have some oregano. I have some garlic powder, and I have some onion powder. And that's about it. So I just mixed it up. This is about 2 tablespoons, and I'm just going to toss it in the bowl. Add some sea salt. Some black and white pepper. This is a black and white pepper mix. You could use regular pepper if you like. Now that we have our chicken nice and mixed, I'm going to cover it. I'm going to set this in the fridge. I'm not going to add any more seasoning as far as salt and pepper. I'm going to do that after I get it cooking and just sprinkle a bit on while it's cooking. So this is ready to go in the fridge while we're preparing everything else. I'm brushing my griddle with some olive oil. I'm going to go ahead and put my poblano peppers on. I'm going to put my serrano peppers on. I have some tomatillos. My tomatoes are on. I'm going to put 2 cloves of garlic. Give everything a nice brush of oil on the top. Lightly season everything with some sea salt and pepper. Toss and turn everything. Make sure you get a good char and everything just softens up a bit. You want your serrano peppers, your tomatillos, and your tomatoes and garlic to soften up a bit. You want a good char, and that's going to be going in some vinaigrette. I'm going to go ahead and leave the poblano peppers on. I'm going to add the chicken to the griddle because these are going to go on the torta. Adding the tomatillos, the serranos, and the tomatoes and the garlic to the blender. I'm adding the juice of 1 lime. This is optional. I didn't cook my onion because I like the taste of the raw onion. So this is about 1/2 cup purple onion chopped. 1 ripe avocado. Adding 3/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. 1/4 cup of white vinegar. I'm going to salt and pepper, and then we're going to blend. One last thing is the cilantro. I'm going to go ahead and give this a taste to see if it needs any more salt or pepper. Oh my goodness, it's perfect. Let's start cooking some chicken. This is the cheese I'm going to be using for my torta. This is queso, and it's the Mexican style string cheese. You can find it in your local grocery store. I'm going to continue to cook my poblanos. I turned the heat up. I did have it on a low heat while I was making the vinaigrette. So now the heat's back up. Let's get to cooking. You want to continue to toss and turn your poblanos, and you just want them to soften up. I'm going to remove my poblanos from the heat. I took the stems off and took the seeds out of my poblanos. I cut them in half and they're ready to go back on the griddle. Brush the chicken with the rest of what's in the bowl. Just get all that goodness on there. Lightly salt this side and pepper it. You can't make a torta without the right bread. So this is the actual bread that you use for tortas. I got this at the Mexican market in our area. I'm going to flip my chicken just to make sure it's completely done. And that nice char on there, that's all good. Lightly brush some olive oil on here. And then I'm going to toss my bread on. The chicken is done, so I'm going to go ahead and start removing some of it from the griddle. I have my poblano peppers right here. I just put a few down. And now I'm going to add my cheese. And this is Mexican string cheese, so just tear it apart and toss it on. Simple as that. Take my chicken, I'm going to set it right on top of the cheese and the poblanos. And then I'm going to add another layer of cheese. I don't have a top to go over the entire griddle, so I always just use a pot or a pan. Nice and toasty. I flipped it and I toasted it a bit on top because I like it. And you don't have to do all that, but nice and toasty because we're going to layer this with some vinaigrette. This is so good. You want this on both sides. Chicken and the poblanos. Hopefully I could pick it all up at once. Yes. There we go. Some fresh pico de gallo that I just made. Got the bread nice and toasty. Now let's slice into this baby. The vinaigrette is nice and creamy. It just complements everything in the sandwich. And everything comes together so good. It's delicious. You're gonna love it. So try it out. And I'll see you in my next video. This is my chicken torta. My chicken poblano torta.